The massive alien ship hung in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud blocking the stars. Inside the ship's command center, Commander Blue's four eyes widened as he watched the video footage from Earth for the third time. His scaled fingers trembled slightly as he paused the recording. "Play it again," he ordered, his voice carrying the weight of his 30 years of military service. The video started once more, showing what the Alliance's intelligence division had captured. A human military training ground. On the screen, a large four-legged creature with sharp teeth rushed forward, leaping through the air to tackle a man wearing protective gear. The beast's powerful jaws clamped down on the arm of the training suit, and it refused to let go until its handler gave a command. "Impossible," Commander Blue muttered, his bright orange skin paling to a sickly yellow. "These humans, they've managed to control these savage creatures." His second-in-command, Officer Green, stepped forward. "Sir, our scouts have discovered something even more disturbing. These beasts, they're everywhere on Earth. The humans keep them in their living spaces." Commander Blue's antenna twitched in disbelief. He gestured to another screen, and new images appeared. The footage showed what looked like a typical human home. Through the window, the surveillance drone had captured something that made the entire command crew step back. One of the beasts was lying on a couch, while small human children climbed all over it. They start training their young to control these monsters from an early age. Commander Blue concluded, completely misunderstanding the sight of a family golden retriever playing with kids. No wonder the previous 3 species we sent to scout Earth never returned. They must have been torn apart by these combat beasts. The reality, of course, was that the previous scouts had simply fallen in love with Earth's pizza and decided to stay. But the Alliance had no way of knowing that. More footage played across the screens. Each new video made the alien crew more nervous. They watched as humans took these beasts into public spaces, restraining them with only thin rope-like devices, leashes. They saw humans commanding the creatures to sit, stay, and attack on command. "Look at their control," Officer Green exclaimed. "One word, and these monsters obey instantly. The humans must possess some kind of advanced psychological warfare technology." In truth, they were watching a local dog training class in the park, where a trainer was teaching basic commands using treats and positive reinforcement. But to the aliens, who had never developed close relationships with other species, the concept of pets was completely foreign. Commander Blue straightened his ceremonial armor and made a decision. "We must report this to the Alliance Council immediately. If humans can bend such fierce creatures to their will, imagine what they could do to other species." The emergency transmission was sent to the Galactic Alliance headquarters. Within hours, representatives from 50 different alien species were watching the evidence of humanity's supposed mastery over battle beasts. "Here's the most shocking footage," Commander Blue told the council, playing a video of a human sleeping. Next to the human's bed lay a large German shepherd, its ears alert even in rest. They even trust these creatures to guard them while they sleep. What kind of species could feel safe enough to sleep next to a predator? The council chambers erupted in worried murmurs. Some representatives fainted at the sight. Others called for immediate military action. "There's more," Officer Green added, displaying new footage. "They have entire buildings dedicated to training these beasts. They call them pet shops and kennels. Clearly military facilities disguised as civilian structures." As the council debated their response, no one thought to simply ask the humans about these creatures. No one considered that what they were seeing was the result of thousands of years of friendship between two species. Back on his ship, Commander Blue made preparations for first contact. He drafted a message demanding that Earth surrender their beast weapons or face the consequences. As he worked, he watched one final piece of footage: a small human female throwing a ball, and one of the monsters happily bringing it back. "Such precise control," he muttered, completely missing the simple joy in both the dog's wagging tail and the little girl's laughter. "These humans are more dangerous than we could have imagined." The stage was set for what would become either the biggest diplomatic mistake or the most important learning opportunity in Galactic Alliance history. And it all started because nobody thought to ask, "What's a dog?" The United Earth Defense Council's meeting room was unusually crowded that morning. Military leaders from every major nation sat around the large oval table, their faces lit by the holographic display showing the alien ship hovering above Earth. The room fell silent as the alien transmission began to play. Commander Blue's orange face filled the screen, all four of his eyes blinking in what he hoped was an intimidating manner. "People of Earth," he announced, "we have discovered your secret weapons program. Surrender your combat beasts immediately, or face the consequences." General Smith, a veteran with 30 years of service, looked confused. "Combat beasts? What are they talking about?" The alien commander played a video clip on screen. It showed a police dog training session. "Do not pretend ignorance. We have documented evidence of your beast control programs. These creatures are clearly designed for war." The room was quiet for exactly 3 seconds before someone started laughing. It was Captain Tom Wilson, the head of the military working dog program, who had been called in as an expert. Next to his chair lay Max, his German Shepherd partner, who was currently taking a nap and snoring softly. "Sir," Wilson addressed the alien commander, trying to keep a straight face, "I think there's been a misunderstanding. These aren't weapons. They're dogs. They're our friends." Commander Blue's antenna twitched, and what the humans would later learn was a sign of disbelief. "Friends? You expect us to believe you befriended these killing machines? We have footage of them attacking on command." Max chose that moment to wake up. The big German Shepherd yawned, showing all his teeth, causing several alien officers in the background of the transmission to faint. Then he rolled over, asking for a belly rub, which Wilson automatically provided. "This is clearly a demonstration of your absolute control over these beasts," Commander Blue declared. "No natural creature would expose its vital organs unless compelled by advanced psychological manipulation." Wilson looked down at Max, who was now making happy grunting noises as his belly was scratched. "Would you like to meet him? Maybe if you actually saw a dog up close." "A trap," Officer Green shouted from somewhere off-screen. "They want to deploy their battle beast directly onto our ship." The Earth representatives exchanged looks. This was either going to be the shortest war in history or the most amusing first contact scenario ever recorded. "How about neutral ground?" General Smith suggested. "We can meet in the large park outside the UN building. Bring whatever security you need. We'll bring Captain Wilson and his, battle beast." Commander Blue conferred with his officers in whispered tones. The humans waited patiently while Max had moved on to chewing his favorite tennis ball, making squeaking noises that caused more alien officers to flinch. "We accept," Commander Blue finally announced. "But be warned, any aggressive moves from your beast weapons will be met with immediate orbital bombardment." After the transmission ended, General Smith turned to Wilson. "Captain, please tell me that dog of yours is good with strangers." Wilson smiled, watching Max roll the tennis ball under a chair and then act confused about where it went. "Sir," Max once spent an hour letting kindergartners braid his tail. "I think we'll be fine." The meeting was set for noon the next day. As Wilson prepared Max for their diplomatic mission, he made sure to pack the essential items: treats, a brush, Max's favorite ball, and some waste bags, though he wondered if he should tell the aliens those were actually biological weapon containment units, just to see their reaction. "This is either going to be the easiest or the most complicated mission we've ever had, buddy," Wilson told Max, who responded by licking his face. Around the world, as news of the alien ultimatum spread, dog owners couldn't help but laugh. Millions of social media posts showed people's fearsome war beasts, doing what dogs do best, being lovable goofballs. There were pugs snoring on pillows, golden retrievers failing to catch treats, and huskies having full conversations with their owners. The aliens, monitoring Earth's internet traffic, became even more convinced of humanity's power. After all, what kind of terrifying species could turn apex predators into creatures that wore funny hats and chased their own tails? As the sun set on Earth that evening, both sides prepared for the meeting. One side with advanced weapons and shields, the other with a pocket full of dog treats and a tennis ball. The morning of the meeting was bright and sunny. In New York's Central Park, Captain Wilson stood calmly with Max sitting beside him. They watched as the alien ship descended from the sky, looking like a giant metal pancake with glowing lights. Commander Blue had brought 20 armed guards, all wearing what looked like super-advanced space armor. They formed a protective circle around him as he stepped onto Earth's soil for the first time. Each guard held a weapon that glowed with strange energy. "That's far enough," Commander Blue called out when he was about 50 feet away from Wilson and Max. "Now, demonstrate your control over your battle beast." Wilson tried not to smile. "Max, sit." Max was already sitting, but he tilted his head at the command, making his ears flop in a way that caused several alien guards to raise their weapons. "Now what would you like to see?" Wilson asked. "Show us how you make it attack," one of the nervous guards shouted. Instead, Wilson pulled out a tennis ball. The aliens tensed up, probably thinking it was some kind of weapon. "Max, catch." The tennis ball bounced once, and Max leaped after it with pure joy, tail wagging. He caught it mid-air and brought it back to Wilson, dropping it at his feet with a proud look on his face. "Is this some kind of joke?" Commander Blue demanded. "We saw your training videos. These creatures can take down armed opponents." "Oh, you mean police dog training?" Wilson reached down to scratch Max behind the ears. "That's just one job that some dogs do. Most dogs are just pets, companions. Here, would you like to see some pictures?" Wilson pulled out his phone, making the aliens jump again. But soon they were staring in confusion at photos of Max sleeping in Wilson's bed, playing with neighborhood kids, and wearing a silly Halloween costume with fake butterfly wings. But they have such powerful jaws, such sharp teeth. Officer Green protested. "Max, show them your belly," Wilson commanded gently. Max immediately flopped over onto his back, paws in the air, tongue lolling out in a happy dog smile. One of the younger alien guards lowered his weapon slightly. "Sir, I don't think that's a very threatening position." Just then, something unexpected happened. A small poodle that had escaped its owner came trotting up to the group. It was wearing a pink bow and couldn't have weighed more than 10 pounds. The alien guard scrambled backward in terror. Another battle beast, and it's using some kind of stealth technology to appear smaller. Commander Blue shouted. The poodle, excited by all the movement, started yapping happily and running in circles around the aliens. Commander Blue ended up standing on a park bench to avoid it, while his guards tried to form a defensive circle against a tiny dog that just wanted to play. "Should I explain about different dog breeds now, or should we wait until they calm down?" Wilson whispered to Max, who was watching the poodle with mild interest. The poodle's owner, an elderly lady with a walking stick, finally caught up. "Oh my, I'm so sorry. Princess just loves meeting new people." She scooped up the poodle, which tried to lick her face. Commander Blue watched in amazement as the battle beast cuddled with its handler. His antenna twitched rapidly as he processed this new information. You let them sleep in your beds?" he asked, climbing down from the bench. "Most dog owners do," Wilson explained. "Dogs have been living with humans for thousands of years. They're part of our families." Families. Commander Blue looked like he might faint. "You let these predators near your young." Wilson pulled up a video on his phone. It showed a compilation of babies laughing while being gently licked by dogs, puppies snuggling with toddlers, and dogs patiently letting small children use them as pillows. The aliens watched in complete silence, their weapons slowly lowered as video after video showed dogs being not war beasts, but loving, goofy companions. "Perhaps," Commander Blue said finally, his voice shaky. "We should discuss this. Cultural difference over what you humans call coffee. Without weapons." Wilson smiled. "I know a great dog-friendly cafe nearby. Max loves their puppuccinos." "Their what?" Commander Blue asked weakly, but he followed along anyway, his guards looking very confused as both Max and Princess, the poodle, led the way, tails wagging happily. The dog-friendly cafe meeting didn't go quite as planned. As soon as Commander Blue and his team entered, they saw something that made them freeze in terror. There were at least 10 different dogs of various sizes lounging with their owners. A huge Great Dane lay under one table, while a tiny Chihuahua sat on a cushioned chair at another. A golden retriever was sleeping near the window, and a bulldog was snoring loudly in a corner. "It's a training facility disguised as a food establishment," Officer Green whispered in horror. "Look how many battle beasts they have ready to deploy." Wilson sighed as he led them to a table. Max trotted alongside him, occasionally greeting other dogs with a friendly tail wag. The aliens watched this interaction with intense focus. "They're communicating," one guard hissed. "The beasts are clearly coordinating their attack positions." A waitress approached their table with a smile. "Welcome. Would you like to try our special puppuccino for your furry friend?" Before Wilson could answer, the cafe's door opened, and a young woman walked in with 6 dogs on leashes. She was a professional dog walker, but to the aliens, this was the final proof they needed. Commander Blue leaped to his feet. "A beast master. She controls multiple units at once." He pressed a button on his wrist device. "This is Commander Blue requesting immediate fleet backup. The humans have far more battle beasts than we initially estimated." Wilson tried to explain. "No, wait. She's just a dog walker. People pay her to exercise their pets when they're busy at work." This made things even worse. They have specialized trainers who maintain their battle beasts' physical conditioning. Officer Green reported into his own communication device. "The humans have developed an entire infrastructure for their beast army." Above Earth, more alien ships began appearing. News channels worldwide started reporting on the growing fleet. Meanwhile, in the cafe, things got even more complicated when someone's new puppy waddled over to Commander Blue's feet. The puppy, a chubby little Labrador, looked up at the alien commander with big brown eyes and attempted to chew on his boot with tiny milk teeth. A training exercise. Commander Blue jumped onto his chair. Even their youngest beasts are taught to attack enemy equipment. The puppy, excited by this new game, started playfully barking. This set off a chain reaction of other dogs in the cafe joining in, creating a chorus of barks, howls, and excited yips. "They're signaling the attack." An alien guard screamed. The entire alien delegation scrambled out of the cafe, leaving their untouched coffee behind. Wilson ran after them, Max following faithfully. "Please, you're misunderstanding everything. Look, I can prove dogs aren't weapons." "Max, show them your favorite trick." Max, happy to perform, began spinning in circles while balancing a treat on his nose. Advanced combat maneuvers. Commander Blue declared from what he considered a safe distance, such precise control over their movement. By now, a crowd had gathered outside the cafe. People had their phones out, recording the aliens' reactions. Some had brought their own dogs, making the situation even more chaotic. A child's birthday party passed by, led by a clown walking a balloon-decorated poodle. Commander Blue nearly fainted at the sight. "They've developed some kind of biological enhancement technology," he reported frantically into his communicator. "The beasts come in impossible colors and sizes." Wilson watched as more alien ships appeared in the sky. On the street, Max was now playing with the balloon-decorated poodle, both dogs completely unaware of the diplomatic crisis they were causing. "Sir," Wilson tried one last time, "if you just let me explain about domestication and selective breeding." But Commander Blue was already backing away toward his ship's teleporter beam. "The Alliance Council must know about this. Your species has created an army of creatures that can be any size. Any color, trained from birth, maintained by specialized handlers, and controlled with perfect precision. They're just playing. Wilson called out as the aliens disappeared in a flash of light. Max trotted back to Wilson's side, still wagging his tail. Above them, the alien fleet continued to grow. On the ground, the balloon-decorated poodle chased its own tail, the birthday party children laughed, and the puppy from the cafe finally caught up to chew on Wilson's shoelaces. "Well, buddy," Wilson said to Max, scratching behind his ears, "I think we might have accidentally started an intergalactic incident, but at least you got half a puppuccino out of it." The United Earth Defense Council called an emergency meeting as more alien ships filled Earth's skies. The room was tense until Wilson spoke up with an unusual suggestion. "Let's take them to a dog park," he said, causing everyone to look at him like he had gone crazy. "If they want to understand dogs, that's the best place to show them." General Smith rubbed his forehead. "Captain, there are 50 alien warships above Earth, and your solution is to take them to watch dogs play fetch." "Exactly," Wilson nodded. "They think dogs are weapons because they've only seen training videos. They need to see how dogs really act." After much debate, they sent the invitation to Commander Blue. The alien leader accepted, but with conditions. He wanted 50 guards, 3 escape ships ready, and a force field between his team and any unleashed battle beasts. The next morning, at the largest dog park in New York, the aliens set up their equipment. They built a transparent force field that divided the park in half. Commander Blue and his team stood behind it, weapons ready. "Begin your demonstration," Commander Blue ordered, all 4 eyes watching nervously. Wilson opened the park gates. What happened next would be remembered in both human and alien history books, though for very different reasons. Dogs of all shapes and sizes came running in. There were tiny dogs, huge dogs, fluffy dogs, and sleek dogs. Some chased balls, others played with frisbees. A few just rolled in the grass or splashed in the small pond. "Look at their battle exercises," Officer Green exclaimed. "Such variety in their training methods." Then something happened that made the aliens nearly jump out of their scales. A small French bulldog started running in crazy circles for no reason at all, what dog owners call the zoomies, some kind of malfunction. Commander Blue wondered aloud, watching the dog zoom around. "No," Wilson explained, trying not to laugh. "Sometimes dogs just get excited and run around. They're playing." Playing. The concept seemed to confuse the aliens even more. A golden retriever approached the force field, wagging its tail and carrying a tennis ball. It dropped the ball and looked expectantly at Commander Blue. "It's offering you its weapons training device," one guard whispered. Wilson shook his head. "She wants you to throw the ball. That's all. Dogs just like chasing balls and bringing them back. It makes them happy." "Happy?" Commander Blue's antenna twitched. "These are biological weapons. They don't feel happy." Just then, a small child who hadn't noticed the aliens walked up to the force field. In her arms, she carried a sleeping puppy. The aliens raised their weapons, but quickly lowered them when they saw what happened next. The puppy woke up, yawned, and started licking the girl's face. She giggled, hugging it closer. "That's my daughter Amy and her new puppy, Cookie," said a woman who walked up behind the girl. "We're training him to be a therapy dog. He'll visit hospitals to make sick people feel better." Commander Blue's orange skin turned a pale yellow. "You use these creatures to heal." "Not exactly heal," Wilson explained. "Dogs can make people feel better just by being there. They provide comfort, companionship, love." Love. The alien commander watched as more dogs played around them. A Dalmatian was giving kisses to its owner. A pug was taking a nap in the sun. 2 Labradors were sharing a water bowl. "Sir," Officer Green said quietly, "I don't think these are weapons." The final moment of understanding came when a small mixed-breed dog somehow got through the force field. Instead of attacking, it walked right up to Commander Blue and sat down, tail wagging. The alien commander stood frozen, staring at the dog. The dog stared back, still wagging its tail. "You can pet it," Wilson suggested. "It won't hurt you." Slowly, very slowly, Commander Blue reached down with one scaled hand. The dog leaned into his touch, and for the first time in the entire crisis, the alien commander smiled. "They're not weapons at all, are they?" he asked softly, as the dog rolled over for a belly rub. "They're friends." Wilson nodded. Best friends humanity ever had. Around them, the dog park continued its normal activities. Dogs played, owners laughed, and slowly, one by one, the alien ships in the sky began to disappear. The greatest misunderstanding in Earth's history was ending, all thanks to a wagging tail and a friendly belly rub. The next morning, Earth woke up to an unusual sight. Instead of warships, the skies were filled with what looked like alien tourist ships. The Galactic Alliance had sent researchers, scientists, and curious visitors, all eager to learn about Earth's dogs. Commander Blue had become an overnight sensation across the galaxy. News broadcasts showed him sitting cross-legged on the ground at the dog park, surrounded by friendly dogs. His serious military uniform was covered in dog hair, and he didn't seem to mind at all. "So you're telling me," he said to Wilson, while scratching 3 dogs at once, "that humans didn't create dogs as weapons. They evolved alongside you." Wilson nodded, watching as Max played with some alien children who had gotten permission to visit Earth. The alien kids had the same 4 eyes as their parents, but seemed much less afraid of the dogs. Thousands of years ago, some wolves decided humans were worth hanging around, Wilson explained. Over time, they became friendlier, and humans started taking care of them. Now we have all these different breeds. "But the training videos we saw," Officer Green started. "Those are special cases," Wilson said. "Some dogs work with police or military, yes, but most dogs just want to be part of a family. They protect us because they love us, not because we control them." Commander Blue watched as a nearby Bernese mountain dog gently carried its owner's shopping bags. "And they help you with tasks." "They help us in many ways," Wilson agreed. "Some guide blind people, others find lost humans, some can even smell diseases, but mostly they're just our companions." The Alliance Council had sent their top scientists to study this unique relationship. They set up observation posts at dog parks, pet shops, and veterinary clinics. What they saw amazed them. At one clinic, they watched as a scared dog getting its shots was comforted by its owner. At a pet shop, they saw people spending hours picking out the perfect bed for their dogs. At homes, they observed dogs waiting excitedly by windows for their humans to return. "Remarkable," one alien scientist said, taking notes. "These creatures have developed a deep emotional bond with humans. It's not control at all. It's a partnership." Commander Blue had become especially interested in a small shelter dog that had taken a liking to him. The dog, a scruffy mixed breed, followed him everywhere. When he sat down to read reports, it would curl up at his feet. "What is this feeling?" he asked Wilson as the dog pressed against his leg. "Every time it looks at me with those eyes, my chest feels strange." Wilson smiled. "That's what dogs do to us too. They make us feel loved and needed. That's why we call them man's best friend." The Alliance Council reviewed all the new information. They watched hundreds of hours of footage. Dogs celebrating their humans' birthdays, comforting them when sad, sharing their joy when happy. They saw puppies growing up with babies, old dogs helping their elderly owners stay active, and everything in between. "We may have made a serious mistake," the Council admitted in their official report. "What we thought was a weapons program is actually one of the most remarkable partnerships in the galaxy." News spread quickly. Other alien species began asking permission to visit Earth, all wanting to experience this unique bond between species. Some even started talking about finding their own planet's animals to befriend. Commander Blue made a surprising announcement. "I've decided to stay on Earth as the Alliance's ambassador," he said during a press conference. The scruffy shelter dog sat proudly beside him, wearing a tiny diplomatic collar. There's still so much to learn about dogs and friendship. Wilson watched from the side, Max lying at his feet. Around them, the world was changing. Alien children were learning to play fetch. Alien scientists were studying the perfect belly rub technique, and alien diplomats were discovering the joy of puppy kisses. "You know what's funny?" Wilson said to Max. "They came here thinking dogs were our secret weapon. Maybe they were right, just not in the way they thought." Max wagged his tail, watching as Commander Blue tried to teach his new dog to shake hands. The dog kept rolling over for belly rubs instead, and for the first time, everyone heard what an alien's laugh sounded like. The greatest misunderstanding in history had turned into the greatest opportunity for intergalactic friendship, all thanks to humanity's oldest and most loyal companions. 1 year after the great misunderstanding, Earth had changed in ways nobody could have predicted. The planet had become the most popular tourist destination in the galaxy, all because of dogs. The Galactic Alliance had built their new cultural exchange center right next to New York's biggest dog park. Inside, aliens from thousands of different worlds learned about Earth's special relationship with dogs. Commander Blue, now the head of interspecies relations, led many of the tours himself. And here, he would say, showing visitors a hologram of early wolves, is where the story began. Not with weapons or control, but with trust and friendship. His own dog, the scruffy shelter mutt now named Diplomat, would sit proudly beside him during these presentations. Wilson had been promoted to Director of Intergalactic Canine Relations, though he insisted that Max deserved the title more than him. Their office had become a mandatory stop for any alien visiting Earth for the first time. "The most common question I get," Wilson told a group of new arrivals, "is how humans manage to create so many different types of dogs. Then I have to explain that we didn't create them. We just helped them become who they wanted to be." The aliens had made their own contributions too. Using their advanced technology, they had created special translation devices that could better interpret dog body language and basic thoughts. It turned out dogs weren't thinking anything complicated, mostly things like happy, love human, want food, and ball. This discovery had made Commander Blue laugh for an hour straight. "We thought they were plotting complex military strategies," he said, watching Diplomat's thoughts appear on a screen. Belly rub good, human friend, nap time. Pet shops now had alien sections, selling toys made with space-age materials that were guaranteed to last longer than 5 minutes, even with the strongest chewers. Alien veterinary technology had helped extend dogs' lifespans, making both humans and dogs very happy. Some alien species had even started adopting Earth dogs. Special programs ensured that alien families understood Earth pet care before they could take a dog home. The sight of a 4-eyed orange-skinned alien walking a golden retriever had become normal in many cities. The Galactic Alliance had created a new holiday, International Dog Appreciation Day. On this day, every screen across the galaxy showed images of dogs being dogs, playing, sleeping, helping, loving, and sometimes just being gloriously silly. "You know what the funny thing is?" Wilson said to Max during one of these celebrations. "They still think dogs are our secret weapon. They just finally understand what kind of weapon." He was right. The Alliance's official records now listed Earth's dogs as the most powerful force for peace in the galaxy. Not because they were fierce, but because they taught everyone who met them about unconditional love. Commander Blue had written in his final report, "Earth's greatest achievement isn't their technology or their cultures or their arts. It's their ability to forge true friendship with another species. Their dogs aren't weapons of war. They're ambassadors of love." The report included thousands of examples. A therapy dog helping an alien child overcome their fear of Earth. A rescue dog saving an alien tourist who had gotten lost in the mountains. A puppy teaching an entire alien species how to play. Even the most serious alien diplomats found themselves carrying dog treats in their pockets, just in case they met a furry friend during their day. At the dog park where it had all started, a special plaque was put up. It read, "On this spot, the galaxy learned that Earth's greatest power isn't in our weapons or our technology, but in our capacity for friendship. Thank you to all the dogs who helped us teach this lesson." Below the plaque, someone had added a bowl of tennis balls and a sign that said, "Free to all species." Every day, humans and aliens would gather there to throw balls, give belly rubs, and learn from Earth's first and best teachers about what really matters in life: love, loyalty, and the joy of simply being together. And somewhere in the park, Max and Diplomat would be playing with their newest alien friends, completely unaware that they had helped prevent a war and create universal peace, all with nothing more than a wagging tail and a willingness to share their tennis balls. After all, that's what dogs do best. They make friends, not war.